Ladies and gentlemen, fresh, ready to go on this Money Monday, ready to rock and roll. I don't know if your energy is this high yet, but it better be, because we have a brand new fresh week, a brand new day. Traders, you guys are looking absolutely fantastic today. I'm looking absolutely fantastic today, and I am here ready to make some money with you. Seeing what we have on this brand new fresh week, kicking things off right over on Stock Twits. It's your boy right here, Sean Dekmar, ready to bring it down, ready to talk about what are the best plays of the day, breaking it down from A to Z, 0 to 100, making sure that you guys are feeling good, getting that feeling of those little tiny butterflies in your stomach right now. It's almost like falling in love all over again. It's almost like going in for the first kiss. Me and you getting our first kiss with each other today. It's going to be a big day. Now, we got to see how and where can we take money on the day, because right now, team, we do have a little bit of action over on UGRO. I'm also seeing the S&P 500 starting to bounce back up right now. Let's get everyone on the same bearings, okay? I want to make sure by this next hour right here, all right, this next hour, we all understand what is happening in this market, why it's happening, and of course, we can go forward feeling great about this day. So as of now, we do have a few plays that every single trader needs to be focusing on. We do have MGRX, currently the #1 top gainer in the stock market. MGRX is a very small play though. It's only 27 cents. To be frank with you, this is not my favorite type of play. I am not the type of guy who likes to trade 27 cent plays. And you might say, well, what are you talking about? You're a penny stock guy. You know, I like micro caps. I wouldn't really refer to myself as a penny stock trader. I don't like stocks that are legitimate pennies, 39 cents. I like stocks anywhere between the price of like $1.50 to $30, $1.50 up. Like, do I like smaller plays? $5, $6, $10, $12, $20? Yes. You know why? Because there's a lot of volatility. Volatility is essentially going to be activity, aka movement. The more that a stock is moving, the more money we can make. Because I know I can buy a stock, it can rip $5. You have 1,000 shares, that's $5,000. I could short a stock that drops $6. Stock goes from $12, falls down to $6. I can make $6,000. We know that there's going to be a lot of volatility and a lot of movement in these smaller plays, especially stocks that have lower floats. So we want to make sure every single person understands how to be successful in the stock market, how to get in at the right areas, and what they should be looking at. As of right now, the #1 best press release that we have on the day is going to be UGRO. So right now, guys, I am over on Fox Runner. I'm just using the premium news right here. And you guys can see that UGRO is the #1 top gainer in the stock market at this moment. Now, what is the news that came out over on UGRO right here? UGRO, let me actually go back right here. Let me dump this on down, go over to the See All category. And where are we seeing right now over on UGRO? I saw the stock come on out with a hot press release earlier this morning. Oh, I was in the wrong section there. Got to be in the premium news. And it does have IPG right here. IBG to expand its T20 cricket footprint across Sri Lanka. So we did have one of these press releases that came on out here, UGRO to IBG to expand its T20 cricket footprint across Sri Lanka, Malaysia, and Zimbabwe, following a merger with Flash Sports and Media Inc. So basically what we had here, guys, is we have a merger. I know, again, there's all this like filler words, all this fluff. We had a merger, and the merger is what's bringing in hype. The merger is what's bringing in buying volume. The merger is what's making UGRO go on a little bit of this rip and run. So UGRO is the best play with an actual credible press release this morning. It is the stock that the majority of traders are running towards. It's the play that the majority of traders are focused on. So UGRO has gone from the price of $215 and now up towards around the price of $350. You know what also stands out to me is that UGRO has 780,000 in float, aka it's a very low float stock. Now, guys, why is that important? Well, when you have a low float play, right, UGRO right here, it's a stock that can easily get pushed around, aka can make us a lot of money. When you have a low float, you are going to have a smaller size. Essentially what the float is, it's going to be the shares that are available to the public. When you have a low amount of shares available to the public and a high demand of people that want to buy it, you are going to see price increase dramatically. It's simple economics. Low supply, high demand, price is going to increase dramatically. So that's why, again, I only have like one setting on my Fox Runner settings. One, I don't care about current price. I don't care about change. I don't care about change at money. I don't care about current volume. I don't care about current day range. All I care about right here, guys, is seeing again 0 to 30 million in float. That's it. 0 to 30 million in float. That is all I care about. That is all I want to see. Okay? So I do want you guys to realize that's how important that, again, we take a look over on these, filters and these settings, and we just say to ourselves, hey, we're good to go, right? We have lower float stocks. Those are the ones that are going to go on the biggest rips, biggest runs, biggest pops, biggest climbs. So I do want to make sure every single trader is fully aware that the lower the float, the better the move it's going to be. So UGRO, definitely, again, a very hot play. And how hot can this one get up to? Well, we are testing right now. It looks like it's 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is at the price of 370. Now, guys, what did we just hit the price of 370, and that blue line is always going to hold on up as some sort of trouble. Now, can we break through that? 100% we could break through that. Could we, again, go up even higher? Absolutely. But if we just want to stay as smart as possible, what would be the best short? Let's try to short as close as we can to that 368 mark. So let me go ahead and just see how much shares are too short. UGRO, let's say I want to get 5,000 shares that I want to go ahead and short this play. I can click 5,000, locate lowest, go ahead. And guess what, guys? That is now, again, costing me $97. So if I want to short UGRO right now, 5,000 shares, there is a fee of $97. Now, again, 5,000 shares is a good chunk of change. But again, I probably would make over $100, and the odds are in my favor, seeing a rejection, a reversal at the 50-day moving average. That's most likely when the stock is going to fade and fall. So I do want to make sure you guys understand what we're looking for at all times. What we're looking for is stocks that have lower floats, that go on very big spikes. Then after they have their big spike area, we look for where a strong reversal is going to happen. After, again, they have their reversal area, that's where we can start seeing some fading and falling and dropping and weakness. Okay? So definitely very important. Want to make sure every single trader is fully aware of this, and you guys are all set, ready to go. MGRX still trying to move itself on up. UGRO probably going to have that 368 area, then a reversal. If it goes anything higher than 368, I mean, that's even better for us. It is still having the majority of the attention, though, right now. Let's just make sure there's nothing else going on real quick. BGM, anything? No. ZYBT, anything? No. AIF, anything? No. So again, other than what we have right here, traders, just a little heads on up on UGRO, I am not seeing anything that I absolutely love. UGRO is by far the best of the best, right? We are looking at top gainers with news and filings today. We do have UGRO as our number one play. Then after that, guys, we do have APGE. APGE announces positive phase 2 trials demonstrating maintenance and deepening of responses. APGE, positive. Positive what? Phase 2. That brings in a lot of hype. But again, that stock's a little bit bigger. APGE is still a great play. I think the majority of traders should be aware of. It is a stock that went on a great spike this morning, talking about positive phase 2. We also have one that's a little bit bigger. INSM, 7 a.m. this morning, $145, right? But what was this one? Positive top line results on phase 3, primary endpoints, talking about meaningful improvements. INSM, this is one of the best press releases you can have. But as you guys can imagine, it's a much bigger play. It's a larger float stock. It doesn't get pushed around so quickly and easily. The best way to look at these plays is looking for lower float stocks that, again, have those keywords that can go on big rips and runs. Okay? So I do want to make sure every single person is aware of that so that you guys are all set, ready to go, and getting ready for a big day ahead. Let me just make sure that we are all set here. All right. Now, what we are going to be watching as well, along with the hot news here on this day, is we do want to see what's going on with this entire market. Because this market, we actually just saw the S&P 500 start exploding right back on up. Now, I don't believe we're seeing any sort of brand new data or anything along those lines right here. What do we have here? We actually have over on CNBC. We have right here, traders, over on, again, CNBC. CNBC, it says Dow futures jump 1,000 points after Trump says U.S. and Iran have held productive talks. Traders, that's kind of nuts to be seeing, isn't it? That's kind of crazy to be seeing it. We have the S&P 500. Look what we just had right here. The S&P 500 was sitting at 640. And then all of a sudden, 650, 660, 665. Traders, we just blasted all the way back on up. And you were saying, well, what the heck just happened? How did we blast all the way back on up? We just like recovered 1,000 points. Well, again, Trump says, hey, we have US and Iran have held productive talks. That means, again, there could be a ceasefire. That means, again, there could be an end to these wars. And if there's an end to a war, guess what happens? Everyone starts saying, wow, this is amazing. This is absolutely great. This is absolutely awesome. So it says stock futures shoot higher in a sudden move after the President Donald Trump said the U.S. and Iran have held productive talks over the last 2 days and was halting any strikes of Iranian power plants. So right now, traders, what do, again, the majority of investors want? The majority of investors want to see that this war is going to be over. We want to see the majority of investors, again, see that, hey, war is over, oil's flowing, everyone's happy, no nuclear bombs are being created, we're all set, ready to go, right? And the S&P 500 will probably move its way right back on up. So the thing is, what we have a lot of times, as you guys can realize, is that we do have, these pullbacks, and then we usually explode back on up. I'm not saying we're going to explode right back on up today, but I am saying there's a good chance that in the future, we're going to continue to climb. And again, it is kind of funny right here, team. You can take a step back, and I want you guys to kind of get away from the fear-mongering. Now, what do I mean by fear-mongering? Fear-mongering is essentially when you go on Twitter or you go on, again, Facebook or you go on YouTube, and everyone says, hey, guys, get ready for the biggest crash since the Great Depression. Get ready for the biggest dump since the Great Depression. This time is different. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you right now, this time is not different, okay? It might have a different name, and that's about it. You guys want to see what I mean? Take a look right here. We had, back in 2018, what did we have? Interest rates. Interest rates are being raised. The stock market's going to crash. This time's different. Guys, COVID. We have never experienced COVID. The market's going to crash. This time's different. Inflation. We have inflation at 9.1%. The stock market's going to crash. This time's different. Tariffs. Tariffs. What is Trump doing? He's going to ruin the country. This time's different. The U.S.-Iran war. This time's different. Guys, what happens every time you sit on the sidelines and fall into the trap of fear? Sit on the sidelines and fall into the trap of, oh, you know what? I can't put my money in right now. Everyone's going to lose. Guess what? This right here is where you buy. Buy when everyone is saying get the heck out. Buy when everyone is saying get the heck out. Buy when everyone's saying get the heck out. Buy when everyone's saying get the heck out. I am telling you, I'm teaching you, I'm trying to make you a better trader. You probably have heard the statistic before that, again, the majority of day traders lose. And you know why they lose? It's very simple. They're too emotional. Most people lose because A, they don't actually understand the market. So B, they just follow what everyone else is saying on the internet, hoping that they get correct. But what gets clicks? What gets the most views? Fear. If I, again, post something on the internet right now saying everyone sell at this moment, this is going to be doomsday coming up, it'll get tons of traction because people get scared of doomsday. People get nervous of, okay, hey, what is he talking about? And then again, that starts going a little bit more viral. So the thing is, it's easy to spread fear. It's easy to say things and make people nervous and sell, and then you get emotional and then you miss out. Guys, when I first started stock trading, I missed out on dips like this. I missed out because I thought, oh, wow, it was going to go lower and I don't want to be a loser. And next thing you know, the stock market's at record highs. And then again, I miss out. And then guess what? It goes on record highs. And then I say, COVID, guys, no way I'm going to buy. It's going to crash to nothing. And then I miss out on one of the best years ever. And then again, 2022, I missed out. And then, and again, obviously for myself, I was actually buying during these times. Me, I'm buying when I see dips. I'm buying when I see dips. And ladies and gentlemen, 100%, that's a great area for a dip buy. It really is. Now, as you guys can clearly see from this image, though, what is the greatest area that you can ever get? The best way to be able to trade, kind of the foolproof plan, the best place that you can trade is going to be buying off the 50-month moving average. That is the best dip. 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 This blue line is the best. It usually only happens like, once every 2.5 years. So it rarely happens, guys. But this right here would be the best dip buy. Now, obviously, that would be a very big drop. Do I think we are going to get to this area? The answer is no, I do not. I do not think we're going to get to this area. Because what else do you guys realize? A lot of times, we also just bounce off the green line. Take a look at the green line. Green line, 13 EMA. 13 EMA, 13 EMA. Take a look right here, 13 EMA, 13 EMA. Take a look right here, 13 EMA. Take a look right here, 13 EMA. Take a look right here, 13 EMA. What are the odds that right there on Friday could have been the best dip buy? What are the odds that right there on Friday was the bottom? Well, now that you actually see the chart and you guys see, wow, look at all the times it bounces off the green line as well. There are two perfect entries, I say, on the S&P 500. It's either the 50-month moving average or the 13 EMA on the monthly chart. So again, Friday was an absolutely excellent area to buy because you are hitting this mark where look how many times you guys could see a bounce here. Now, if it does go anything under, you can always DCA, dollar cost average, somewhere again, buy in that vicinity. Like buying in that vicinity, no one can say you're incorrect. No one could say you're wrong. No one could say, again, you're doing anything, incorrect in any way. If it goes underneath this, next area to buy would be somewhere right around 600. And then last but not least would be, yes, all the way back on down to the 50-month moving average somewhere down here. Okay? These are kind of like your three areas. Best area is that 13 EMA in the 640s, then 600s, then all the way on down towards around that 550 mark, which probably isn't going to happen. But always just be aware of it, okay? So the S&P 500 here, I do want to make sure every single person is aware, every single person is ready, every single person is getting themselves set to be able to, either A, already get those dip buy opportunities, or again, be able to jump in right now and say, hey, you know what? I like it. I like the opportunity that I have. I like, again, the chance that I have. I want to see if this stock, these plays are going to be able to start getting any sort of bounces. Now, as you guys know, for myself, right? For myself, I just hold. When it comes on down to, again, the S&P 500, I have my plays that I just sit on holding. Yes, I'm an active day trader on smaller accounts, right? On my small account, on my, again, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 account, I actively day trade. I do not actively day trade on the S&P 500. Because the best thing to do on the S&P 500 is just to buy and hold. The best thing to do on the S&P 500 is just to put yourself in on the best positions possible. Sit back and just wait for the best opportunity. Give me 2 seconds right here. Let me get this all good. Dun, 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 dun. I want to make sure that we are all ready to rock here for this absolutely awesome day. Guys, I am excited about this one. I'm excited about this day. I'm excited about this chance of success. I'm excited to see what we have here. All right. Beautiful. Now, guys, little heads on up. I know you guys are also watching UGRO. UGRO is trying to get a little bit of this momentum. UGRO right now is trying to get a little bit of hype, and UGRO is a stock that, again, the majority of traders are focusing on right now. Now, I'm excited for the 8 a.m. press release wave. When the 8 a.m. press release wave comes around, woo! That's where, again, we could start seeing some big rips and runs. That's where we could start seeing, again, a lot more action. That's where we could start seeing a lot more activity behind these plays. So the 8 a.m. press release, that is where, again, we start getting ourselves really dialed on in. If we start seeing spiking, ripping, running, popping, climbing, let's get ready to pull the trigger. Let's do it. Also here, traders, I want to get ourselves ready to go. Little side note over on StockTwits. Did the voting open on up yet? For, I don't know if I made it or not, but did the voting open on up for the cash tag awards? I know, again, it's supposed to. Just little heads on up here. Let's go ahead and see. I don't know if nominations are open. Let's see here. Vote now, because you guys come over here. Voting March 23rd to April 9th. The awards. Voting is now open. Thank you for your nominations. Head on over to StockTwits to cast your vote. Vote on StockTwits. That takes us to the same exact link. Okay, let's try another link. Vote on StockTwits. Takes us right here. Okay, vote now. Okay, vote now. Okay, let's try every button. Vote now. Vote now. Okay, vote now. Okay, vote now. Little heads on up. StockTwits. I think, again, the vote now button's not working. But we will see. What are the nominations so that we are all set, ready to rock and roll. What are going to be the nominations over on StockTwits? I'm excited. I want to see if I made it. I want to see if I made it over there, guys. And again, I do want to say thank you so much for everything that you guys have done for me, and be able to go ahead and voted so that you guys are all set. MGRX here, UGRO, AIFF, ZYBT, ABVE. All right, team. We are all good. Let's see what we get coming up at 8 a.m. Now, guys, until we get to 8 a.m., though, let's go over the analyst alerts. All right? Let's go over to the analyst alerts, and let's make sure that we are all set, ready to rock and roll. Let's make sure that, again, every single person understands exactly what we should be focusing on. Let's go down to the very bottom here, okay? The very bottom, and work our way on up, because this is how I always start off my day. The best way to start off your day every single morning is come over here and just get your mind right. Know what's happening in the market. See if there's any sort of big spikes, rips, and runs, and we'll go from there. So what do we have? We have the most talked about growth stocks in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, every single person, including myself, wants to find the stock that is going to be the 2026 big spiker, the next 300, 500, 2,000% mover. We want to find the next pop here. So we have the most talked about growth stocks in 2026. Traders, how many of you guys have heard about this? So this is a collection of the stocks that are most talked about on StockTwits, on Reddit, on X, on Facebook, on TikTok, whatever. These are the ones that have the most traction. ASTS, very well-known play. Rocket Lab, very known well play. NBIS, very well-known. IREN, CRWV, AMD, Now, and Amazon. Throughout all social media, these are the ones that are having the most amount of traction, the most amount of conversation, the most amount of buzz behind them. So if you are a new trader and you are not aware, this is a great kind of starting list. There are massive followings for each one of these tickers. Isn't that a little crazy, guys? Like, there's followings for each one of these tickers. There's people that are Rocket Lab people that will, again, buy Rocket Lab and never sell. But the same exact thing with ASTS or AMD or CoreWeave or everything. So pretty interesting to be able to see, for you guys to be able to check on out. What else do we have here? We have high momentum plays. So momentum stocks to watch that are active swing trades. Now, guys, what are active swing trades? What does that mean? Well, again, active swing trades or momentum plays are going to be plays that most likely are uptrending. Plays that are, again, seeing some strong pushing towards the upside. So let's actually just go through this list a little bit. Let's go over towards like a daily chart at this moment, and we could go ahead and check some of this stuff out. PL, uptrend, gapping on up very largely. You guys could see Planet Labs has been a very good swing. Now, when someone says swing, that could be a 1 week hold, maybe a 1 month hold, maybe a 2 month hold. You're swinging and you're not long-term investing. You're not day trading. You're holding for a shorter period of time, but not a long-term investment, right? We have CF. Look at CF. Again, multi-week spiker, climber, ripper, runner. CRCL, very nice spike. CIEN right here, very nice climb. LITE. As you guys can see at this moment, LITE, nice rip and run. So this entire list, if you're looking for plays that are, again, like nice, active, slow, and steady movers, right? This is a great list right here. So if I were you, I would copy and paste this list. If for anyone that is a swing trader that likes to do options, that's looking to hold something, this list is pretty incredible. What else do we have here, traders? We have, does war affect the stock market? Pretty good question. How has the S&P 500 reacted to war in the past? Well, historical data on the S&P 500 index demonstrates that major wars and major wars and geopolitical conflicts have not prevented the long-term upward trajectory of the U.S. stock market. Once we start getting to words with 3 synonyms, I start having some trouble. So what we have right now, it says, while such events can induce short-term uncertainty and volatility, they generally have limited lasting impacts on overall market performance. So traders, I mean, look at all the wars, all the conflicts, all the battle, all the he said, she said, all that boom, boom. Look at what we have here, right? What happens with all the wars? Regardless, the S&P 500 goes up, right? And it's the most basic, fundamentally sound thing I could ever say. But if you say, hey, Dek, what are you doing this time? You buy the S&P 500 and you never sell. Traders, I don't care if we go through the Great Depression, if we go through 2008, if we go through the dot-com bubble, if we go through another COVID, if we go through tariffs, if we go through inflation, if we go through interest rates, the S&P 500 does just keep moving up. Now, that is not saying that we are never going to see another big drop. That's never saying that the AI bubble might not ever happen. That's never saying that, again, the debt crisis may never happen. That's never saying that private institutions could fail and collapse, and again, the markets could drop 20, 30, 40%. That could always happen. But I will say we will always bounce back. You know who you're talking to? You know who, again, you're standing toe-to-toe with? You're talking about the United States of America. We're talking about the stars and bars, the red, white, and blue. Again, the most dominant, the strongest, some of the best-looking people in the world. Traders, the S&P 500 only goes up. It only goes up. You might say, no, Deck, there's all those recessions. Yes, recessions happen. It's part of the cycle. But you guys could see no matter what, there has never been a recession that we have not recovered from. So, I saw a lot of people on X last night, and it was funny. It was making me giggle. They're saying, man, I don't remember the last time, again, the S&P 500 felt like this. I don't remember the last time the S&P 500 was at this price. And it was just fear-mongering. And I say, I remember. It was 5 months ago, when we were hitting record highs in, again, October, right? It was, when was the S&P like this? 5 months ago, when we're at record highs, right? So a lot of times it's not that scary when you kind of just zoom out. Zoom out, things aren't as scary as you think. All right, traders, little heads on up. We do have the 8 a.m. press release wave coming on up. Everyone, head on over to Fox Runner, click Premium News right now. Hit Premium News. Let's see what we have coming on out. VHGM, guys, we got a couple little press releases. Let's see again what starts spiking, what's ripping, running, popping, climbing, moving, jumping. All right, hold on. We do have, again, TOVX. TOVX, guy, positive phase 2. Oh, that's only a 20-cent play. We do have TOVX, though, talking about positive end of phase 2. We also have receives, ESLA. I want to see BCDS. I want to see what's going to be waking up the hype. LOCL, breakthrough purchases. I'm trying to see a SCHL, guys. SCHL talks about announces cash tender offer to purchase up to $200 million of its common stock. SCHL might get a little hype and momentum. WSHP. WSHP also, again, We Shop, trying to get a little bit of momentum behind it. Is there anything big, though, at 8 a.m.? That's what I'm looking for. I want to see if there's any 8 a.m. play that's going to absolutely take on off. Sometimes private placements. Nope, TPST starting to dump. Come on, all we need is one play sometimes to kind of steal the hype, steal the momentum. UGRO is from 7 a.m. this morning. That one's still, again, remember, we talked about UGRO. I'm just kind of looking through all the best plays. ESLA, I'm not seeing anything right there. ENLV right here. ENLV, I'm not seeing anything right there. Positive end over on TOVX. That's only a 20-cent play. So, again, 20-cent stock. It's not my favorite type of play, but it does have, again, positive end in phase 2 meeting. We do have agreement to acquire here. So, UGRO at this time. ZYBT, ABVE. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm not seeing anything at 8 a.m. We don't have anything too big. We don't have anything too significant over at the 8 a.m. press release wave. Would you guys agree with me? Right now at this moment, guys, we do have UGRO, though, trying to get a little bit of hype. I do see UGRO stealing a little bit of the volume. Now, you might ask yourself, why is UGRO getting some hype right now? It does have press releases, but at the same time, guys, it's one of the only options. Since it's one of the only options at this time, people are saying to themselves, hey, let's go ahead and try to buy that one, right? That's all it is. There's nothing too special about this. There's nothing too crazy about this. I always like to think about it in more of a psychological manner. In a psychological manner here, traders, if you guys take a look at this, this is how I think about every single day. This is the group of traders. This is all of us, okay? All of these little dots represent all of us. Thousands and millions of traders, okay? And this right here is what I like to call, as you guys have heard before, I like to call this the mob. Now, the mob stands for the majority of buyers, okay? So the majority of buyers is what I call the mob. Now, what does the mob do? Well, again, the mob is going to run over to certain stocks. Let's say, again, a stock comes out with hot news and that stock is XYZ. And what do you guys think happens if the mob all buys XYZ? The stock is going to increase in price. Now, what do you guys think is going to happen if all of a sudden everyone sells XYZ? Well, again, XYZ is going to decrease in price and we're going to see it fade and fall. So what do we have to realize right now? The mob, you, me, everyone, it's the majority of traders in the stock market, the people that are looking for plays right now. And it's pretty neat to be able to understand where the mob is going to go, because if you can understand where the mob is going to go next, you are going to be able to make a lot of money. So again, what do we know? We know that stocks spike when hot news comes out. Hot news comes out at 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. Okay? Now, when we get these big rips and runs, traders, that's usually because there's some sort of hot press release. There's some sort of reason for people to buy in. What did we see? What did we just see that was really neat? We saw that starting on off at the time of 7 o'clock, 7:05, everyone jumped in on UGRO. Everyone jumped in on UGRO. Right? Expanded 220 footprint with merger. UGRO went crazy. Then we got to the 8 o'clock press release wave. We got to the 8 o'clock press release and there wasn't anything big. Nothing big came out at 8 o'clock. So it's funny that right at 8 o'clock, guess what happens? UGRO goes on its next spike on up. Now, why did that happen? Well, the mob is all waiting for 8 o'clock. Hey, here's the 8 o'clock news. Is there anything? No. Is there anything? No. Is there anything? No. Is there anything? No. Let's all just go back over to UGRO. Now everyone's flooding back over to UGRO. The mob is going to be a group of just greedy traders. Everyone wants to buy. Everyone wants to put themselves in plays. Everyone wants to see what's spiking, ripping, and running. And if there's not, they go back to what they know is going to work, aka UGRO. So it's like more of a psychological thing as well to be able to understand what we have at this moment. I think right now it really is just the UGRO show. Now, again, how can we find UGRO? Either A, you guys can watch it right around that 7:05 mark. There's multiple ways to find the number one top gainer. You either A, see it at 7:05 when it comes on out. B, you guys either just look at top gainers with news or filings, UGRO. You can also see right here, UGRO is a top gainer. You know, UGRO right there, 82% gain behind MGRX, only a 35-cent stock. But UGRO does have the most amount of credibility right here. You guys can see UGRO is the most credible play with, again, a nice solid press release. Or last but not least, you guys can go over to the analyst alerts right here, and I can bet probably right next to 7:05, there's probably an alert over on UGRO. 7:07, again, their analyst team started alerting it as well. So there's multiple times, multiple ways, multiple chances to see UGRO that you guys will never miss it in any sort of way, so that you guys are all set, ready to rock, and you guys are all good. Okay? So UGRO is still the absolute best play. This is still the best stock. This is still the best rip. This is still the best run. This is the best mover as of now. All right. So right now, Team MGRX, we do have a little bit of CHAI hype. No, we just had one order. I just saw it go up 10% right there. CHAI, you know, enter strategic joint venture with DTS to scale AI infrastructure. So, not really anything I like too much right there. UGRO, WSHP, AIF, FFAI. Yeah, right now it's just the UGRO show. So let's think about this next. Let's start diving into this play a little bit more. You guys want to? Let's kind of, talk about it. We know there's news. But let's think about what's the most important thing. Traders, I want to ask you guys a question that might, might be a little tough to answer. Might bring back some bad memories. A lot of new traders always ask me the same thing. They always say, hey, how do you find the number one top gainer on the day? How do you find the best spiker? Again, it's UGRO. It's not that tough. Boom, we see it right there on Fox Center. But now, how many of you guys have ever lost by trading the number one top gainer? How many people have ever bought UGRO? It falls, you get out, and it spikes up even higher. How many times have you ever saw the number one top gainer? You get involved in it either on the short side or on the long side, and you end up losing. And it seems like everyone on social media is celebrating about how much money they made. It seems like everyone in the chat room on Tradecaster is making money, but you are the person that somehow lost on the number one top gainer on the day. Does that sound like you? Is there anyone here that has gone through that before? Is there anyone here that says, yeah, like that is so weird. How do I lose on the best play of the day? Because it's not about just finding the best stock of the day. That's like simple. It's about understanding where are great entries on the best stock of the day. I only look at news because it leads to top gainers. I only look at top gainers because those are going to be the most active, the ones with the most volatility. I only look at the ones with the most volatility because those are the ones that are going to make me the most amount of money. But single-handedly, the most important thing when it comes down to stock trading is entries. Entries on the number one top gainer for you to figure out where should you enter to actually make money. So if I said, hey, UGRO, here's the best top gainer of the day, and you buy it right now at 402, there's a great chance you lose money. You know why? Because you're not understanding the best entry. Now, to understand the best entry, write this down if you guys are new. It's about understanding where is the best place of reversals. So if you can understand where are other people going to buy or sell, you are going to make a lot of money. So how do you do this? Well, a big, again, part of it is going to be understanding where you can see support and resistance. Support and resistance is going to be AKA entry area, short area, sell area, cover area. This is where you guys can be able to make a lot of cash. So would every single person here agree with me that says when we come on down to the purple line, 250, we bounced off of it. 288, we bounced off of it. 342, we bounced off of it. Would every person agree with me that that's a top area or a bottom area? Would every single person agree with me as well that we do have some top resistance right across this mark? So why in the world are you randomly buying in at 402 hoping for the best? Wouldn't it make a lot more sense to take a second, understand the top gainer on the day, go through the news, then chart it out, and now you can start having more confidence in yourself? Now, team, what is one of the top reasons why traders lose? Because they get emotional, as we talked about. What did we see here before in the past? We know for a fact that when we hit the red line, that's where people sell. When you hit the red line, that's where people short. When you hit the red line, people are going to get out of the play. When you hit the red line, people are going to lock in profits. When you hit the red line, people are going to say time to go back on down. But no, not you. Not you guys, because you are special. And you are the person that has been doing your whole entire life. Hey guys, the stock is at this top. Let's get ready to buy it. What have we seen right here, traders? And hey, I'm not making fun of you because every person goes through this. I've gone through this, right? It's you see it hit a high, you see it spiking up, you think it's going to go higher. You see it's at a top, you see it's going up, and now you think, it's a great time to buy. You might have been for the last, again, 6 months, 2 years, whatever, how long you've been stock trading for in your life. You might have been doing what? Buying at the worst possible time over and over and over and over again. Because you know what? Yes, at some point today, we might break this red line and we might go on a squeeze. That might happen at some point today. But the odds are you are going to buy at the top, you are going to lose. You are going to buy at resistance, you are going to lose. We might have, let's just say hypothetically, okay? We might have one more chance of seeing a squeeze right here. Like we might get a squeeze, but even if you have this, that means it has been rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 5 times of losses before you actually get that one win. Guys, that's an awful ratio. That's an awful way to trade. You don't want to have a 20% win rate and an 80% lose rate because you keep buying at the top and hoping that you get, a breakout. At some point, you're just going to mature up. And you're going to say, hey, when you get to the top, let me go ahead and short it. And that's what I do. And that's why I have over a 90% win rate in 2026, because I go the opposite way. I say to myself, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we hit the top right here. There's probably a great chance that we're going to fall in here. So I short and fall in here and I short and fall right here and I short and I fall right here and I short. Now, that does not mean I win every single time, but I win most of the time, right? It's the same exact thing, guys, when I go right here and I realize, guess what's happening? Hey, well, Dek, when can I buy it? You buy at the bottom. 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 What are the odds that you win when it hits the purple line and bounces? Hit the purple line and bounces. Hit the purple line and bounces. Hit the purple line and bounces. The odds are you are going to win. Now, yes, please, again, someone call me out and troll it up. At some point, there will be a crack. But you know what? This is how you trade it. It's very easy then at this point. Let's get rid of all these numbers and all these different things right here so we can just make it very simple. You know what I do? I love shorting tops. I know, again, these stocks usually fade and fall. So what I do the majority of the time here to make my life simple and make my life easy is I just put stop losses. I put a stop loss here, 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 and I put a stop loss here. Then I put a stop loss here, I put a stop loss here, I put a stop loss here, I put a stop loss here. So now again, how do I trade? How I trade is I get filled on a dip buy. Let's say the stock comes on down and I get filled right here on a dip buy. Okay? The most I could possibly lose is this much. The most I could possibly win is if the stock again bounces back on up and this much. So now guess what happens here, guys? You are now setting yourself up to maybe lose $100, but to maybe win $1,000. How many people here have bigger losses than wins? How many people here lose $500 and when you win $75? Traders, obviously that's not the way that you want to be trading. So the thing is, you want to again reverse that. So again, how do you do that with shorting? Shorting, I short at top resistance. I can lose this much. 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 I can lose that much. But if I'm correct, how much money could I win, guys? Now, again, we flip it, okay? I could possibly lose with all these small, again, stop losses, $100, shorting at the top, putting the odds in my favor. But how much could I win? Well, guys, I can win all of this back on down, win all this, win all this, win all this. I could win all, whatever it may be. You can always win more. So if you get out of the habit of always trying to buy for breakouts and start looking for shorts at breakout areas, and instead, again, you go ahead and buy for dips, you are going to win a lot more. Short the highs, high of the day you short, dip buy you buy. Now, again, these are going to be for, again, these smaller cap plays, stocks that have good channels, strong support. And again, you know, there's many different ways to be able to figure out support lines, right? We have to be able to understand that. There's multiple different ways. I can't go into everything right now. But what I'm saying is, again, make sure you guys change your mindset. I always do odds. That's what I do. I always trade odds. I try to put the odds in my favor the best I possibly can. So the way that I always like to think about this, guys, and again, I always try to make it in real life examples. And again, you know, if you don't like these real life examples, you can cover your ears. But I think about it all the time as being in a relationship. Let's imagine you, again, start getting involved with someone. Let's say if you're a guy, you get involved in it with a girl, or a girl, guy. Again, if you're gay, do a gay guy or whatever. I don't know. You guys could go ahead and do whatever you want. Let's imagine you go ahead and you buy UGRO right here. Okay? You buy UGRO. You are now in a relationship with UGRO. Okay? Now, what do you perceive your relationship with UGRO going to be? Nothing but sunshine and smiles and making sweet love. And you see this in your eyes. You see nothing but, again, spiking, climbing, ripping, running, nice movement, right? But all of a sudden, your friend comes up to you and goes, "Hey, are you dating Katie?" And you go, "Yeah, I'm dating Katie." And you say, "Do you know, again, Katie's past boyfriend she cheated on? And the boyfriend before that she cheated on? And the boyfriend before that she cheated on? The boyfriend before that she cheated on? And that one she cheated on? And the one before that she cheated on? And that one." It's like, "Hey, Sean, I really want to date Katie." Like I know you have in your eyes, you have this image of Katie being absolutely incredible. But the last, again, 7 boyfriends, it didn't work out because, again, she just cheats on everyone. And it's like, guess what? I got 2 options. I could either say, "You know what? You're right. Let me again get ready, and that's most likely going to end." Or let me just keep living in la la land and, again, expect it to go on up. And the majority of stock traders that lose just continue to live in la la land and then end up getting burned, end up losing all their money. All of a sudden, you look at Instagram and Katie's at the movie theater watching Top Gun Maverick with Chad. And Chad's having a good time holding her hand, and you text Katie and you say, "Katie, what the heck? I thought we were going to go see Top Gun Maverick. I love Tom Cruise." And Katie says, "Well, you know what? You told me you were an airline pilot, and you're not. I'm with Chad now." So again, it just comes on down to just being smart. Being as smart as we can, understanding how this actually works, and making sure we're putting ourselves in the best possible positions, making sure, again, we are trading the best possible way we can. So when it comes down to entries and exits, you guys can really figure out the right way to trade, the right way to be smart. All right, here, MGRX, UGRO, FFAI, ABVE. Do we have anything else? 818 in this market. Guys, right now it is still MGRX with no news and UGRO as our number one top gainer. Let's go back over to the analyst alerts right now, and let's just see if there's anything new, fresh, or something that we should be looking at. So we have gone over so far, a little, again, quick recap. We have gone over the most talked about growth stocks in 2026. We have talked about, again, the stocks with the strongest momentum going into this week, good swing trades. We have talked about that, again, the majority of wars mean nothing whatsoever, and that the S&P 500 is going to continue to move itself on up. We do know that right now, daily sentiment is at the lowest point that it has been at in 2026. But we did just have good news where, again, Trump just said they are working on talks to cease fire. So that's very good. We do have, again, some comparisons between the Mag 7 and the tech bubble right here, guys. So, again, always a little scary stuff. Again, I don't like getting into fear-mongering, but there are comparisons between, again, the Mag 7 right now and the tech bubble. And the big thing is, that people do get scared over is what? The AI bubble. Right? Is there an AI bubble? Or is AI, you could sit here and make the argument, AI is like the internet. It's never going away. AI will always be in our life. It's not a trend. It's not a phase. AI will be around forever. Just like the internet's around forever. But sometimes, again, the internet, just like we had back in 2000, people used the word internet and kind of turned it into a hype word. Back in 2023, 2024, AI was a hype word. You could say anything whatsoever with the word AI and the stock would go on up. So, right now here, traders, we are having some big pullbacks. Microsoft is down 31%. We have, again, Meta down 26%. We are having AVGO down, again, 25%. The one that's holding up the best right now is Google, Apple, NVIDIA. And even those aren't that great. They're still down 20%, 19%. Right? So we're still seeing a ton of different, drops and fades right here. Look at this, guys, though. Came in at 543 this morning. So it says the S&P 500 setting itself up for a rally. The bottom may be in if we look at past data. The S&P 500 has declined approximately 5% over the 15 trading days since the onset of the Iran conflict. The current sell-off aligns closely with both the average and median historical trajectories depicted in the chart. Hold on a second, guys. This is a little scary. It is saying at this morning, 543, the bottom is in, and now we're setting up for a rally. That was at 543 this morning. The S&P 500 just rallied 1,000 points, or the Dow did. Okay. Hey, good call over there. What else do we have here? The channel that you guys must be aware of. The S&P 500 weekly chart. Major channel setup. The channel setup you must be aware of. The weekly chart on the S&P 500 displays a clear break below the long-term ascending channel that has guided the index above the mid-2023s, confirming a reversal at its recent highs. The next area is 6,150. So you guys can essentially see right here, almost it's like this isn't 100% correct on what I'm going to say, but it's almost like that mid channel area is almost right next to that 13 EMA. Like we are getting that little bounce. Obviously this is the SPX, so it's a little bit different, but the SPX and S&P 500 are going to be very similar setups. You guys can go over to a monthly chart on the S&P 500 and basically build the same exact thing. If you wanted to go over the S&P 500, just turn off all your indicators, go to show indicators, turn them all off. And then again, same exact thing, just connect some dots. Connect the dots here, S&P 500, connect some dots here. Connect the dots right here. And what do you guys see? Here's a big channel, as you guys know. Top resistance all the way there. Bottom support. Now, again, I do not believe we will go all the way back on down towards the price of 550. But this right here is essentially the same exact thing as this thing right here. All right. Bitcoin returns. Little heads on up. Bitcoin returns per year since 2010. 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, guys, you have massive returns. But look what we have right here. 2025 down 6%. 2026 year to date down 23%. Have we ever had a back-to-back negative year on Bitcoin? Is this going to be the first time we have back-to-back negative years over on Bitcoin, seeing Bitcoin get weaker and fade and fall and drop? We also have, again, drone ticker stack. So again, all these stocks are great drone stocks, obviously with Iran, obviously with the United States, obviously with military conflicts. Drones are a major way of military warfare nowadays. All of a sudden you hear something buzzing in the horizon, right? Basically think about how times have changed. Anyone ever seen the movie 300? 300, you all of a sudden just see like they're walking and all of a sudden you hear these whistles. It's like, and all of a sudden you look up in the air and it's just like a whole bunch of black arrows covering up the sun, right? Now it's like, that's how they did it, whatever, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, just black arrows covering out the sun, thousands of arrows. Now we just get thousands of drones strapped with laser beams on top of their heads that just, just, that's basically the same exact thing we have. It's just the 2000 version at this point. And that's what a lot of militaries are now using, just drones and just strapping, bad things to them. And obviously you guys can get the picture. Now, what else do we have here? Key earnings releases this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the different earnings that we have. Nothing that really tickles my fancy this week, to be honest with you guys. But, we do have, this is, something that you guys definitely want to be aware of. This is something that you guys definitely want to be watching, and make sure that you guys are all set, ready to go. Anything else right here? S&P 500 fell down towards lows, but then as you guys can quickly see after, the S&P 500 spikes up 1%. So now, again, we are all set, getting ready for the 8:30 press release wave. QNTM announces, again, publication of groundbreaking clinical trials. Is QNTM getting a little bit of hype? Quantum play? No. Guys, quantum was very hot back in 2020. Quantum stocks were very hot back in 2025, early 2025. Very hot, very great, but they really died down a lot. Quantum stocks just have not gotten the momentum. Have not gotten the momentum, have not gotten the fire, have not gotten that action. Stock Twits, did that link get fixed? Just curious. I know, again, voting has started. Actually, I'm very curious to see what the nominees are. I want to see if I made it. So, again, if you need a little bit more time with that, that's no worries whatsoever. But, again, I'm looking forward to seeing what we have. So, a little heads on up here, traders. The Cash Tag Awards over on Stock Twits. This is going to be coming on up May 4th. Monday, May 4th. Stock Twits actually rented out a conference room in the New York Stock Exchange. Guys, they're going big this year. Last year was like at a pretty cool event place. It was nice. It was like a bar downstairs, had, again, some comedians speak. Really fun, really awesome, right? Really great time. And now, as you guys can see, they went up the extra mile today. They said, hey, we are having our Cash Tag Awards at the New York Stock Exchange. So that is going to be absolutely great. Absolutely awesome. Now, as you guys can see, I really appreciate everyone. The nominations, you guys, I asked to nominate me. You guys did. And now voting is open. But I don't think, again, voting is actually open just yet. So we'll, again, keep our eyes peeled on that. We'll stay ready on that. And once that is all set, ready to go, we'll get ready to crush that. What else do we have here? GMX starting to get a little bit of a spike and rip and run. GMEX looks like it's getting a little bit of hype. Started spiking right around that 822, 823 area. So GMEX, a little bit of squeezer and spiker at this moment. Let's get ready for the 8:30 press release wave. Let's get ready for the 8:30 press release wave. Let's see if buying volume starts moving on up here. So right now here, traders, we are going to be all set, ready to go. Seeing where, again, buying volume is going to take us. And again, 826 in this market. Traders, 4 minutes until the 8:30 press release wave. Let's lock in, baby. All right, traders, 828. Let's see again. I want to try to make some money here today. I want to see if we get any sort of big spikes, rips, runs, pops, and climbs, a big, strong action. Going to see if, again, we can get any sort of this momentum at this moment. And I want to see if we could be able to make some money here. So here we are all set here, ready to go. All right, here, traders. MGRX, UGRO. And guys, let's just see what we get in this next 1 minute, okay? 1 minute, everyone lock in. 8:30 press release wave. Little heads on up. I have not pulled the trigger on anything just yet. I am 100%, 0 out of 0. Nothing that I've jumped in on yet. No shares that I have, again, even located. We're just waiting for, again, a nice spiker. All we've seen so far is UGRO so far, and UGRO is trying to get that bounce play. Now, please understand something. If no news comes out at 8:30, like nothing hot, nothing good, UGRO most likely will move back up towards like 420. If something else takes the place of the mob, that's where, again, we start seeing a lot more hype and momentum towards other stocks. Does that make sense, everyone? So let's see if anything else spikes, rips, runs, pops, climbs, gets that, good buying volume. SKBL achieves. I'm kind of looking around right now. Partnership. If you guys see anything, feel free to kind of throw it out there. I'm trying to see if anything stands on out and gets that like big hype. So 8:30 press releases here, traders. Contract JFB. I just want to see if anything kind of gets that big green candle. And it's just been so quiet the last like 1 or 2 weeks. And obviously it's just because the markets have been fading and falling. The markets are fading and falling. The markets have been dropping. And a lot of people are kind of a little bit more nervous to pull the trigger on plays that, on more speculative stocks. XT. We have all the news coming through right here, traders. Anything that we have, anything that's big will come through right here. I can also double check over on trade ideas. UGRO right now testing its support. Please be careful on that play. TOVX is a smaller play, only 20 cents. And right now, team, there's nothing you're missing. Control your emotions. Control your emotions this week. You don't have anything at this moment. Do not feel like you got to jump in on anything right now. Stay smart. Put yourselves in the best positions possible. Do not, again, hurt yourself in any way. Let's make sure, again, we're doing everything right. Okay? So right now, traders, I think we're all set. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, not the morning that I really wanted. Nothing bad. Nothing bad. We didn't lose any money. No bad trades. Nothing like that. But I want, again, a little bit more excited. I want to see a little bit more momentum. I want to see a little bit more hype. I want to see stocks, again, jump up and go to that next level. I want to see plays, again, be able to kind of step up and see, hey, can we get some big rips and runs and spikes and climbs? Right now, though, a little bit more quiet. Let's make sure we are using our head. Don't force anything. Don't put yourself in a bad position. Let's wait, let's watch, and let's go from there. Okay? So right now, team, 8:32 in the market. I am going to go live on my X, over on Tradecaster, over on YouTube. Make sure, again, you guys are following me there. We will be all set, ready to go and kick off this day. But right now, team, it's a little bit quiet. So do not force anything. Do not put yourself in any sort of bad position. Stock Twits, it's Money Monday. Let's see what we have. A lot of attention, a lot of focus is over on the S&P 500, and we'll see what we get coming on up. As always, it's a blast to work with you guys day in and day out. I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who is joining us on this day. Thank you so much for everyone who is here again, participating in the early morning live stream, getting yourself set on this day. I love you. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week. And hey, let's get ready for an awesome day ahead. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, StockTwits. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'm going to be going live in